Hi folks, only me again. Probably getting fed up with all the videos I've been putting out over the last couple of months, but you know, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for corrupt and bent coppers and those people in authority, I would have no content. So you can thank those for the fact that I keep putting videos out. Anyway, talking of videos, if you follow this channel, if you're subscribed to the channel, if you pop on every day or every other day just to see what I've got without being subscribed, you may have noticed that I put a video up a couple of days ago, which is it's almost like a call to action, if you like, where I mentioned that I would like to create a website where people can upload their interactions, with the police. We'll be able to put that onto, the Police Abusing Powers channel, and would be able to ask the community to help out by making complaints towards the officers that are involved. Now, obviously, we would be careful as to which incidents would require a complaint. Each video would be based on its own merits. I wouldn't upload all the videos to the website or to YouTube, and I wouldn't ask everybody to make complaints on every single submission that we got. Only the ones that are clearly a violation of professional standards or police abusing their powers. Yesterday there was an article in the newspapers. I haven't seen it on the telly yet, but it was an article in the newspapers about a teenage boy in London who got attacked by a police officer, and I am disgusted. One thing I want to say is that if somebody has committed an offence, if somebody has committed a crime, and they are, and they should be arrested for it, I've got nothing against that. If somebody has done something wrong, they need to be punished. And, it's as simple as that. It's the level of force that is used in situations like that, or the abuse of power where people haven't actually done anything wrong, they've not broken any law, they've not done anything illegal, but is still set upon, harassed, assaulted, and, and ultimately kidnapped. So that's what it boils down to, being taken against your will. This video that I saw it this morning. It's 1:30 in the afternoon now, and I saw it this morning. I'm just getting around to making this video, but I'm disgusted by the police officer involved. But there is also part of this story which kind of relates to that video. Thinking about how and what we can do to make this channel better, and how and what we can do to all keep up the good fight. So I was thinking about how when somebody is abused by somebody in authority, or they have their civil or inalienable rights infringed upon, how much weight would 4,600 plus complaints hold up against the aggressor, which I will link to in the description. So you can, if you haven't seen that yet, you can go and see that and check it out. It's not a very long video, but if you want to go and check that out after this one, it will give you an idea as to what my plans are with this channel and what we can do with the community. So I'm going to play you this video that I saw this morning.
I've done nothing. He's slapping me with a stick. No. Somebody please report this for me, please. Oh my God. Mate, do you know what you've just done?
So that was on the Standard, the eveningstandards.co.uk website. Now there is some text in the article that go along with that video, and I'm just going to run through that with you, and also my thoughts on this as well, before I get to the end of this article where was the part that I really want to point out to to you guys watching this video. It says Scotland Yard is investigating footage which appears to show a plainclothes police officer hitting a handcuffed teenage suspect with a baton during an arrest in East London. Now, I don't think it appears to show, it does show. Plain and simple. You can't, saying it appears to show means that, we could be wrong, but we're not. We just saw that, and the kid gets hit multiple times by a steel baton, extendable baton, that the plainclothes police officer was using to hit him with. In the viral footage, the 17-year-old suspect is apparently hit on his legs with a baton as he shouts, "What the fuck are you doing to me? I'm a child." I wouldn't necessarily consider a 17-year-old as a child per se, but regardless, from the footage, and again, we can only go on what we see. And that's what I do on this channel. I can't make up scenarios as to what happened before or what happened after. We can only report on this channel what we can see with our eyes and what's available in evidence-wise. But anybody, doesn't matter how old they are, anybody who clearly is not resisting arrest, okay, he's handcuffed, the officer has him under control. You know, you can quite clearly see that he takes him from behind the parked cars, pulls him round. The guy is not pulling away, he's not trying to escape. You know, he seems compliant at that point, and the officers start striking him with the baton. I mean, for all we know, the lad might have turned around and and told the plainclothes officer that he's just banged his wife. Do you know what I mean? Which is probably something a 17-year-old may well say. You know, being a bit brazen and cocksure. But regardless, a police officer is supposed to be able to keep their calm in situations. That's why we allow them to do the job that they do. Let me carry on. The officer was filmed as he arrested a teenager for possession of Class B drugs with intent to supply in Heath Park Road in Romford. Class B drugs, possession and with intent to supply does not warrant being hit with something. The lad clearly has no weapons in his hands or anything like that, so again, totally unwarranted attack. As the footage circulated on social media, people accused the officer of using excessive force as the suspect appeared to be struck at least twice with a baton while in handcuffs on Monday. A spokeswoman for Metropolitan Police said that the footage and circumstances surrounding the incident is being investigated, although no formal complaint has been received. That's important to note. In the video, the teenager gets on his knees and tells the officer, "I'm a child, I'm a fucking child," as one shocked onlooker can be heard saying, "You can't just hit him like that." Absolutely right, absolutely. We need more people that will voice their opinions. There has to be people out there that knows this is wrong, that regardless to what the kid's done, if the kid's got a knife in his hand or a gun in his hand, then you have to use the appropriate force to disarm that kid or that man or that girl or that woman, whatever. But when somebody's handcuffed and they're clearly not a threat, to go and hit them like that is bang out of order. And for somebody to actually stand up and say that in the street, fair play, I've got respect for you. The one thing that pissed me off about this video is that nobody stepped in. Personally, I would have stepped in, okay? I would have stepped in and I would have made a citizen's arrest on that police officer. I would. Simple as that. I would have used reasonable force to disarm the police officer, okay, while somebody phoned 999. I'd have made sure somebody kept hold of the lad in handcuffs because he's clearly under arrest. To allow him to get away would be wrong, okay, because it needs to be investigated. But I would have stepped in. I would have done what I could to stop that police officer doing what he did. I clearly think that was an assault. End of. Absolutely, that was an unprovoked assault as far as I could see. And I would have stepped in. The problem is there's not enough people out there that would do that, which is why I made that video the other day. And I'll urge you, if you've not seen it, to check it out, from the link in the description. Let me carry on. The police officer holds the handcuffed teenager down as he says, "Somebody dial 999. A police spokeswoman said police were on patrol in Heath Park Road, Romford on Monday when they found reason to stop and search two teenagers under the Misuse of Drugs Act. Probably, at the end of the day, they were found with drugs on them, or one of them at least was found with drugs on them, from what I can tell. But their reason to stop and search was probably just because they didn't like the look of them. After a struggle, one male, aged 17, was detained by an officer. He was subsequently searched and was found in possession of Class B drugs. He was arrested for possession with intent to supply an obstruction of a drug search. Now, bearing in mind, it says he was searched. So there, clearly, he had no weapons on him. Otherwise, they would have found it. So the police officer cannot say that he was, afraid for his life or anything like that, because they've searched him and he's got no weapons on him. They said they found drugs, no mention about weapons. A second male, aged 14, escaped the officers and ran to his home address on Brentwood Road. Here, an officer found the male and after another struggle, he was detained. During the struggle, the officer was assaulted by the male. Now, unfortunately, we're probably never ever going to know whether or not that's true. But it's a 14-year-old kid, and I know 14-year-old kids can be a pain in the arse. I've got 3 boys myself, and and I know plenty of people with teenage sons, and I know they can be a complete pain in the arse. However, to say that the teenager, 14-year-old, assaulted the officer, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence as to whether or not the police have simply said that. Maybe the lad tried to resist, maybe he tried to pull away and resist. But what you got to remember is the police will, if you walk past a policeman and knock into them by accident, okay, if you're walking down a corridor or through the high street, a packed high street, and there's a police officer walking towards you and there's other people walking towards you, and you try to avoid somebody and you accidentally knock into the police officer, he can arrest you for assault. He can. If he didn't get laid the night before, or if she didn't get laid the night before, and you've got the ump, they could arrest you for assault just for doing that. So I'm on the fence as to what this particular statement means in this paper, or in this article, about a 14-year-old assaulting a police officer. Although I'm not saying that the 14-year-old, didn't do some fucking jiu-jitsu shit on the officer, because we don't know, and we never will. So, both teenagers were taken to an East London police station and released under investigation. The footage prompted... Now, this is the part that's quite important here, guys. I mean, it's all important, but this part here is important to, for this video about what I'm trying to get across. The footage prompted former Deputy Mayor of London, Lee Meta Jasper, who was responsible for policing, to say he wants to make a formal complaint about the footage. He wrote on Facebook, "I wish to make a formal complaint to the Metropolitan Police Service and Mayor of London about this wanton act of apparent police brutality. I am aware that a complaint can be submitted through Twitter and wish to exercise my rights to do so now. This type of police racism and brutality is going to cause a riot. You have no legitimacy in policing people like this, and soon, from now, I predict your officers will be routinely resisted in some areas as a consequence of your utter failure to rein in officers such as this." And what's so important about that, guys, is just because he's a former deputy mayor doesn't make him any more special than you or I. That means that anybody can make a complaint against an officer. In the video that I made the other day about, together everybody achieves more, the future of the channel, etc., I state in that video that we can make complaints, and I've had a lot of people, or I've had some people rather, that have commented on that, saying things like you can't make a complaint if you weren't there, sort of thing. But clearly we can. Clearly we can make it. If the former Deputy Mayor of London can make a complaint about what he's seen, and it's the video that he wants to complain about, the content of the video, not that he saw it himself. If he can do that, then we can do that. Okay, and that's what I want to try and achieve with the website idea that I had, being able to create a community here where we'll evaluate every video that comes to us. We'll upload the ones that are clearly, as the former Deputy Mayor says, is a wanton act of apparent police brutality. I've got nearly 4,900 subscribers now, guys, which I'm extremely grateful for. But can you imagine if we get to 5,000 people on the channel and 5,000 complaints going against an officer? Do you really think that professional standards are going to sweep that under the carpet when there's so many people making complaints? I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly think that if we do this, which at the moment there's nothing else out there that does what I'm proposing here, if we do this, we can really start holding these police officers to account. Okay, now again, I am not a police hater. I'm not a cop hater. I hate corrupt cops. I hate the power-tripping cops. I hate the ones that join the force because they're fed up beating their wives up and they want to go out and beat other people up with weapons. Those are the people that I am against, okay? And those are the people that I want to stop. They're the people that need to be held to account. That is the whole point of this channel, and you are part of this channel. You are the community of this channel, and I want to really make this a community where we can do things for each other. I'm providing you, I hope, with information and insight into certain incidents, reporting on things that I think that people should know about. But you can be involved as well. I mean, you are involved, and it's great. I love the way that you comment and you get involved on the videos, and you know, your opinions mean a lot. But if we can all take 60 seconds of our day when we see something that we know is wrong and we make a complaint, we can start making a small change at the moment, but it's a change nonetheless. And that's what my call to action is. You know, it's like giving Gary Glitter a job in Toys R Us, like giving Jimmy Savile a job in the Disney store. They shouldn't be there, and we need to take action to make sure that they are removed from those positions of authority. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Again, if you haven't seen the video that I put up the other day, please check it out. The link's in the description below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification so you know when all my new stuff's coming out. And yeah, share the videos, you know what I mean? If you can, if there's something there that you feel that other people need to know about, I would be grateful if you could share the videos. You know, at the end of the day, the more people we get in this community, in our community, the bigger the difference that we can make. So until next time, peace out, look after yourselves, and I'll see you again soon.